Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 4, day 4. It is Thursday, January 26, 2017. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only, to support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan, and I emphasize that. Always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, so 2017 we've been talking about. I don't know where the market's been going, but it hasn't really been going. We got a lot of chop. We got a couple of micro trends. We got a nice couple of days of trend, and then we get a day like today. But why? Why do we get a day like today? Well, if you think about it, we had quarterly earnings coming out for some major companies here. So after a nice run-up in the market, we'll take a look at the big charts. We'll see where we were pre-market trend on the daily outlook posted there about 15 minutes before the market opened. Always love reading Ken Polcari's Morning Thoughts. Check that out. You can subscribe to his newsletter. Globex session trend was pop and drop. There was our Globex high and low, two things that I've gone ahead and added to the pre-market trend there, and where our current price was 51.55. Pop and drop, yeah, V reversal, and we were pretty much in a downtrend from the get-go. So based on simply the charts alone, being at the highs, probability is that we might pull back. But hey, who am I to say we're going to chop? Got to look for that indicator that helps you out there if you're seeking that indicator. Otherwise, a lot of false setups today. Could have dropped down a lower time frame. That was a possibility also, or just simply sit out. All right, so there was our targets upside, targets downside, and our ES. Same picture, pop and drop, the reversal. There was our Globex high, Globex low. Pre-market trend was downside. We were looking at that about 22.84, and we really didn't close. Pretty much closed out. Well, after earnings came out, we definitely changed direction, but for the most part, we finished out the day at the daily open. All right, so pretty much overall flat market until earnings came out. Any highlights here? Well, let's go ahead. VIX closed itself out at 1063, and as we've been watching, and let's pull up that VIX here on the TOS screen, or from your favorite source, pull that out. Keeping an eye on those February 15 strike calls after reading that on the Jason Kelly newsletter this weekend. Be aware. Look at that volume there. Yep, we got some volume here at 15, 16, 17, but we also have some up here at 21, 21, 22, and 23. So I don't know what the big volume numbers out here at 30 and et cetera. Actually, some orders all the way at 70. But hey, guys, got to appreciate that if there's any profitability to be made here at these numbers, that VIX is going to have to come up, which means, you know what, we get a little bit of a pullback. So keep the perma bear out of your minds. A good, healthy pullback is possible at any time. But right now for today, we closed it out at 1063. Let's jump right into the charts as we do each day. Let's start with the daily gaps. As we opened those up yesterday, we still have those daily gaps downside. I got an upcoming article I'm going to write. Hopefully we don't go close out many of those gaps downside yet before I get that out. But basically, yep, gaps get closed. 100% guarantee there, guys. So Jedi traders got to be aware of that. Eventually we'll close them out. Definitely the ones near 5104, 19882, and 228050 will be three numbers that eventually will be our first gaps to be closed out. Crude crawling itself up to that 55.41. Let's ring that bell in the days to come. That would be nice. AD lines across the board. Pretty much a flat market. I said flat. That's what flat looks like. Again, price action downside from the get-go. Here we saw the S&P downside as well. And why I'm getting a little lift. Let's go back to the charts here for a moment as I do each day post here. Again, some rotating charts from the highlight of the session that you can catch on Twitter. But there's the M6E today. I didn't get a chance to show you that chart there. Again, a lot of chop. But M6E, very smooth today. Underneath the cloud, 51.44, back upside. You got a partial entry here, back underneath the cloud. Not a bad setup. But again, you want more charts in sync. Red, downside. So it looks good. Again, I changed the colors here. A little bit more appealing than seeing red and green all day. Again, we're looking for the highest probability setups. There's the strategy. We didn't get that there on the indices today. A little frustrating, but hey, that's what you get after a couple days run up and earnings coming out. Market profile is just simply going to sit to the side, and that's exactly what she did. So there's your market internals for the quad. And volume slightly to the downside. I know everything written all over the charts was down. I was looking over the screen share. I got AD lines down. I got tick count down. I have this study, and I got MML charts pointing downwards. I got Heikin Ashi bars downside. I got price action underneath the cloud, and what? We're not moving. So what can I do? Hey, sometimes after some point, even after a couple losses, you gotta just sit back and wait for the next clean setup. All right, so volume was down on the NYSE. Then we had the AD line, which pretty much flattened out. Tick count here on a 5-minute chart, cumulative tick downside as well. And the 5-minute chart, we could see we're pretty much range bound. 25-minute open range up, 25-minute open range down. Almost touching down here around 2289.50. Really never reached any of those fib targets throughout the session. All right, let's take a look at the individual charts here. Let's start with the NQ as we do each day. When we mean chop, we mean chop. There it is. Now, post-action, there was more action post-market than there was in today's price action. There is today's session. Again, we've got our MML lines, nothing really tagged a little bit here. Price action lifts back upside, not much to speak of, but there it is. A couple of entries maybe to the downside, but really nothing ever really working out towards the mid-session. Afternoon pretty quiet and laid back, so at this point we know exactly what we're waiting for. That was the overnight move to the upside, very clean. We were only hoping we get a move like that. Asian session pulls back pre-market as waiting for those earnings. I'm sorry, we actually jumped very quickly on that, didn't we? I'm all over the place today, guys. Let's go back. There it was on the charts, but there were the earnings. Starbucks, Alphabet, Google, Microsoft, and Intel, in case you didn't get those. Nothing new big in the news, but bear sentiment has been rising, and understandably so. But you know what? That also, by nature of the market, draws more people in as the news hits Dow 20K, right? Draw them in and then drop it at some point. Ha! All right. YM, there it is. There was our not reacting as much to the news, especially on Microsoft, but V reversal there. And price action very choppy again. Majority of the setups, you can see here from the 534 and the 5144, a lot of just flatness all around. VWAP, market profile. Market profile looked pretty good today. Wasn't very big. Got a little price action pretty much staying within 70% of the range. All right, there's your YM. Not much to talk about. And ES, I can't even say much there. Again, great example. Let me go back to the NQ for a moment. If, let's say besides the post action, if price action is not working for you, then simply drop from a 10.7 to maybe a 6.3. 6.3 might work for you. I'm of a bigger fan of the 5.4, which we could see then candles. Let's go back a little further. There's today's price action. So now you don't have as much chop. Again, a couple of bars you got to be aware of. A couple of bars move pretty quick. As you can see, 938.04 lays down 2 to 3 bars before you get in. Again, you get a setup here as price action counter trend. Then there's your setup, core setup 534 as you cross beneath the cloud. So not a bad day to lower the time frame if you wanted to, or just simply sit out. Why would you sit out? Well, taking a look at some of the studies, let's take a look at what would have maybe kept you out of today. One of those technical indicators that we were talking about today, the ADX, something we've seen in the past, we've talked about. Another great momentum indicator, just like HA bars. Go to a higher time frame here, such for instance a 15-10 flex Renko. I usually watch the NQ on a 10.7, but if you're watching on a 15 tick, ES, you can do the same. Just go to a higher time frame, and you get a little bit more stability. As you could see yesterday, price action to the upside, nice hike in Ashi bars, and trend tells you pretty much the same thing. But again, by the rules of the ADX, above 20 gives you a reference point that you got yourself a nice trend, and then you look down below at the directional momentum index and green's above red. So you stay on it. Now, trade management, that's up to you how you exit, but here you can see, and the reason I'm pointing this out today, look on a 15 tick chart, we never got above 20, or I got a line in between there, between 10 and 15 right there. Never broke above there, 15, 16. So that would have kept you at bay today, kept you out of the noisy picture. Now, can we use that on a higher time frame? Sure, I'll go ahead and show you that here in a little bit when we look as to where price action is headed. All right, anything exciting on the markets? Yeah, crude got a nice lift here today as price action broke out upside, much cleaner than we just saw in the indices. Solid Heikin-Ashi bars upside, trade management all the way up to the top. So around the cloud exit, nice move. 51.44 in the green up here and 5.34 in sync. Sweet move. The rest of the rest of the markets we watch here, again, gold with an overnight session downside. Very nice. Look at that. Sweet, clean ride. That look like something you know of? Yes, it was that highest probability setup I just showed you there. Very nice to the downside. And that was the 6J last week. But here it is, the GC last night underneath the 51.44 to the MML lows. Very nice, 51.44 and 5.34 downside. So gold, after that, pretty much chopped away. The benefits of the overnight session. Hey guys, yen still on a downtrend here as it has been. There's the move from the 26th, and there it is, all the way downside. Now, if the smaller time frame is a little too noisy for you, this is on a 10-7. You can go ahead to a 15-tick chart and eliminate some of that noise. There you go. Price action underneath the major support resistance, right to the MML, bounce a little bit, and you got yourself a nice setup on the yen. All right, taking a look at the last index before we see where we're headed tomorrow. There was the euro. Again, euro session. Again, very nice and clean. We saw that on the M6E before, 6E as well. Right, all the way down to support. That's right. Check it out. Right from resistance all the way down. Bounces at major support. Comes all the way down to support 0. Very nice. Bounce back up. Maybe you took a contract off here. Eventually, you were taken out on the stop and to the short. That's up to you how you traded that, but price action underneath the cloud, that's all you needed above the cloud, and price action remained underneath the cloud, so giving you 3 solid setups on the 6E today. All right, so where are we headed to tomorrow? Well, we had some pretty big ideas this morning that price action might actually pull back at this point. But those are the possibilities. It can happen any day. We can still continue higher. So we'll start with the ES here. As ES, after a chop session, we'll watch the Globex. We're definitely at the overbought on the over range up here on the over range. On the Flex Renko range chart, 75.50, 22.96 is where we hold. So we got 22.96 up here, 22.96 on the 15-minute chart. So this is the range, 96 to 99 up here, all the way up to 2,300. So we want to keep our eyes there. Anything to the downside, we'll start looking at 89. 89, that gives us 89 resistance on the range chart. First we'll look, and then we'll look down to 81 all the way down to 65. So those are some numbers to keep in mind. Again, overnight action might not get as much price movement, but if it does, finishing out the week as we lead into Friday, look to these levels upside, and then anything to the downside is open game, especially those open gaps. Let's take a look at the YM 60-minute, 15-minute chart and the range chart as we bump heads up here on all-time high still. 2039, 2050 is where we're at right now. That's the next level downside, 2039 to 20,000. If we break 20,000 for any reason, then I'll look down here to some of these smaller numbers on the 15-minute chart. But again, these will reset themselves through the Globex session most likely. So anything downside from there, I'll be looking to 19,844 if we're to move down. But right now, still sitting upside, we're going to look to these reversal overbought numbers up here at around 2117. And wrapping up on the NQ 16-minute, 15-minute, and core setup here. Again, 60-minute chart has already been lifting up nice here. We've broken up. I'm expecting a MML reset here on the charts. So for now, we'll look at the 15-minute charts. Again, to the downside, I'm going to be looking at 5126, which pretty much would line up with right up here on the on the NQ range charts. No, I'm sorry, that was 56. I apologize. So no intermediate levels here. So right now I got to go by the 15-minute chart. So 15-minute charts, we're getting that support here, 51.46. And by the 6s, next level is down, 36.26, all the way down to 51.17. Hey, if we're really to break here for any reason leading into the weekend, we'll be looking at 5K back downside. First, I expect some support here on the hourly chart. Now, I mentioned before the AD line. Well, what would be any reason that I might think that we're still in an uptrend? Well, here's a new, and maybe we'll add this here just as a supplement for you guys that watch that ADX. Nice little study. Here's a 100-tick chart. Here's a 100-tick chart. We're up here at resistance, right? Nice move to the upside. ADX has been holding above 40 for some time. That's okay. That's great. We're holding upside. ADX broke 40. Maybe you want to exit at this point, but hey, you went even higher. Why exit yet? I know it's only 6 points. It's not the end of the world, but we're back upside. ADX DI is upside. So, hey guys, just watch that supplementary. As soon as price action eventually turns on the range chart, maybe we'll see how it shows up on the ADX. But for now, trend very strong to the upside and remain strong as we lead into tomorrow. Okay, going into tomorrow, economic calendar. Again, we're looking at GDP. Check out Earnings Whisper tomorrow. I don't think we have anything huge coming out. I'll have to recheck my lineup here for tomorrow, but today was the big one. As we roll into the weeks to come, we still have Apple earnings coming up, as well as, I think that was the big one. Yeah, Apple coming up. I know I have one more on my Facebook. That's it. Facebook coming up. All right, durable goods, GDP tomorrow, consumer sentiment, a couple of econ datas, and then finish out the week. All right, guys, that concludes today's insight into the daily trend, technical momentum of the indices, and those key future markets we watch every day. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs. As always, I leave the crystal ball to those experts. I leave my buys at the door. Hey guys, make sure you check out the pre-market trend in the mornings, trading session recap here in the afternoons, and as we whirl into the weekend, go ahead and do the weekly recap and the technical momentum outlook on the weekend for week number 5 coming up. Hey guys, wherever you might be, have yourselves a Blue Zone day. Good day, good night, and good trading to ya. Peace out.